Hello, hello. Welcome.
Hey there.
How you doing?
Doing great, Mr. Zaya. Thanks for having me on.
Yes. Dr. Rodnick is not only a great chiropractic office, but he's also a great friend of mine. And so I am definitely lucky to meet you years ago. And I think uh, we met at BNI group like gosh over 8-10 years ago in Commerce Township, and we just after that hit it off and been friends ever since too as well. I know when we had synergy that
Absolutely.
you had a family business like me, and I think
Exactly.
that
I
was,
have the oldest of five siblings, and all of us are chiropractors. And my cousins, our office manager, our whole family in the business.
that's awesome. I know. Like right away when I met you, I'm like you telling me about your family working together and how you guys are all chiropractors. I'm like, what a great story. So I was going to ask you to share that story with us. How did you get into chiropractic, and where you are currently right now in your
Sure. And
practice?
obviously, like you said, my family's in it. My parents are chiropractors, so I grew up with, seeing the results that they would get with their patients, seeing the enjoyment that they would get from their career, and I decided I wanted to look into it and go into it myself. So
Yeah.
I graduated from chiropractic school in 2006, and been doing it ever since.
Mom and dad are chiropractors,
That's
right? You
right.
said
Yep.
that's amazing.
Yep.
And then you have a brother too, right? That's a chiropractor as well.
I do. Yep. And so in my clinic here in Commerce, so I have three younger brothers that are all chiropractors, and a younger sister who's a chiropractor as well. And in our clinic here in Commerce,
Yeah.
there are three doctors. So it's myself, my brother, Dr. Neil Rodnick, and
Yep.
we have another associate, Dr. Blair Globerman, as well. And we have a pretty big clinic where we have five other assistants, an office manager. We have four licensed massage therapists on staff to serve the local Commerce, Wall Lake, Waterford, Pontiac, West Bloomfield communities as well. And so I grew up in the profession and in the industry, but I've had some really great experiences myself personally with chiropractic. Even when I was in college, I had a pretty bad car accident myself, and was able to receive treatment, and that's really made an impact on me on why it was important for me to see patients that have had traumas or injuries and this kind of thing.
Yeah. So tell me, what's your typical client that comes into your office? Like you said, car accidents and auto accidents. So I'm assuming that you take care of
Yeah.
uh,
So
who
we
involved in auto.
see, we see everything from children with sports injuries and scoliosis to seniors with degenerative osteoarthritis and everything in between. One sweet spot I really like to do is be kind of primary spine care. I love seeing a patient that I can get a correct diagnosis, prognosis, and treatment plan, and manage the case and triage the case, whether they need to do advanced imaging like order MRIs. I have a mini fellowship in neuroradiology, so I interpret all my own MRIs as well. And so oftentimes people will come in with a disc for a second opinion, and I put the MRIs up on a TV screen on the wall. We look at it together. I point things out to the patient, whether it's something we can handle conservatively in our office with chiropractic care, or something I need to co-manage with a physical medicine doctor or an orthopedic surgeon or a neurosurgeon. I really like to be comprehensive and be primary spine care management and look for mechanical diagnosis and things that I can treat in house, or anatomical diagnosis, things I can help manage by making appropriate triage.
Yeah. So like I know that it's hard to you differentiate yourself with the technology that you have. I know personally I've been there and I've seen where like my X-rays when I'm moving, I can see how my spine is moving, at the same time in the X-ray view. So like that's just one
So we
differentiation. What differentiates you from other chiropractors as well? Like what you offer?
so so again, like most chiropractors just here we're a treatment modality only for chiropractic care. But again, I like to manage patients' conditions as far as being the primary spine care. So let's say they had a sports injury or they slipped and hit themselves in the ice. Again, we'll manage everything. And so we do a lot of really great technology for diagnostics and for treatment. Some of the really cutting edge technology that we use, like you mentioned, we use something called DX or digital motion x-ray. It's actually, like you said, it's a video x-ray. It's one thing to take an x-ray just laying down on a slab. It's another thing to take it weight bearing, so the joints have weight on them, and also moving to see if there's instability, if there's translation, if there's an angular variation in the joints themselves. So it's one of our really awesome technologies. Another type of testing we do is it's dynamic range of motion. So what it is, it's a dynamic functional surface EMG. So we use EKG technology or EKG electrodes. We place them along the paraspinal muscles and the sternocleidomastoid muscles for the neck, or the paraspinal muscles in the lower back. We have them move in certain directions so we can actually see microvolts of electrical activity to find out if the pattern of muscle movement is normal or if there's muscle guarding. Muscle guarding is the body's natural defense mechanism to pain and dysfunction. And so it's a really, really cool test to discover more about the patient's condition. Another really cool technology we use, we do a digital laser scan of the feet. So it checks the topography of the depth of the arches underneath the feet to see if there's any mechanical problems, mechanical imbalances. We send that out for custom orthotics if necessary. And that's some of the testing equipment. And then from the treatment side, some of the things that differentiate us as far as really great cutting edge technology is we do non-surgical spinal decompression, which is a motorized axial traction device designed to kind of create a vacuum to decompress disc material or suction disc material back in if patients have had herniated discs, bulging discs, spinal stenosis, these type of conditions. Another really great technology we do is laser therapy. So we use low-level laser. It's low enough level that it doesn't cut or burn the skin, but what it does do is increase microvascularization or tissue repair. So more blood flow, more nutrients to the area, decreases pain, decreases inflammation, and increases healing.
Wow.
Those are just a few of the really cool high tech we do.
Just a few.
Another one we did some really great equipment for concussion rehab too, and so that's one thing we're starting to specialize in, especially young athletes. The old adage was, "Yeah, you got your bell rung, get back on the field," and then even 10 years ago it was okay, take a little rest, and then it was I'll go home for a couple weeks and rest, and then now the modern research is showing that concussions need to get back to normal faster and to prevent further damage when there is a concussion or a minor TBI or an MTBI. So we do sensory integrative therapy. We do all sorts of different things for young athletes to treat concussions, to keep them safely from participating and get them back on the field safely as fast as possible.
Yeah, that's great. A lot of kids playing sports in high school. I would definitely appreciate that, parents, just to get that like peace of mind. You know, I know you built a center in the Commerce Township office in the basement with turf, you know, right? So that for the rehab of concussions.
Yeah, exactly. So we are rehabbing concussions from sports. Obviously, right this moment, there's not a lot of sports going on since the pandemic. However, we have still been treating concussions because, you know, a mom that fell off of her rollerblades and a kid who fell off an ATV, and there's plenty of kids seeing or grown-ups seeing that have concussions that we're able to treat. But obviously, we are definitely looking to help student athletes, you know, prevent injury and get back on the field as well when they're able to get back on the field.
Dr. Rodnick, what about couples? Like, you know, because of the coronavirus, everyone's at home. Like, you want to get hit by a frying pan in your head if you try to cook and you cook wrong and your wife gets mad. Do you ever see one of those type of scenarios?
Send them in. We do anything like that, send in. We'll take care of it.
Yeah. Get a concussion from that.
Problems like that, we take care of them.
That's great. How do you tie in home care? I know, like for me, like, you know, you sent me patients who have home care services. How do home care, someone who needs home care, tie into? How can some people might think, how can a chiropractor send a home care company clients? How do we tie in on your end?
So a couple different ways. Again, we have an aging population, And we see a lot of patients to keep them mobile to help prevent further degenerative changes. And so as these patients start to age, at some point, they go from being independent to needing help at home. And so that's kind of the sweet spot where we, I think, can help you, is to recognize those patients before they get to the point where have an incident, they're hospitalized. And so that's something I always need to keep in my head, is like recognizing Mrs. Jones has been a patient of mine for years. We keep her on her feet. We keep her doing well, but she's starting to decline enough where we need to bring in Affinity. And it's time that we don't want to wait till Mrs. Jones has a problem,
or fall.
And so that's one thing. And then also, again, patients that may have had concussions or car accidents or that type of thing that may need some help at home, or any kind of slips and falls that may not necessarily even be seniors, could need help at home for temporary small periods of time.
You've called us for transportation as well, to bring
absolutely
someone to your clinic.
For medical transportation, absolutely. There's definitely a lot of patients, sometimes seniors, sometimes patients that have had, again, sports injuries or falls or car accidents that need medical transportation, and they just can't get to without having help to load, unload, come into the clinic, that type of thing. So that can definitely be some synergy between, your industry and mine.
I actually don't do medical, but we do non-medical. So there's two different definitions of that. Non-medical,
okay.
Gotcha. Like, I don't need a wheelchair, but I can bear weight on 2 feet. I can walk into the car and sit on my own without any type of hands-on or any type of assistance. Versus medical, I can see where that's another partner that we would work with, or you would too. But
sure.
I know that outside of the realm of your practice, you are an entrepreneur and a big pioneer in our community. I've always known you as starting a network group called in our community that's a branch of BNI. Tell us about
we do
networking, how you got into it, and like how you could inspire others how important networking is.
We have a local networking group called BNI. They have thousands of chapters around the world, and it's just a really important way for local businesses in the community to help, friends, family, clients of theirs by working with other local businesses and keeping the community involved with good businesses, quality businesses, and helping each other grow at the same time as helping our clients receive, goods that they may need. And the way it works is there's multiple businesses, but one of every type of business and only one. So in this type of group, we may have one plumber, one realtor, one chiropractor, one home care company. And again, it's just another way to make connections and contacts with quality businesses within our community.
Yep. Yeah, and I know I've been a member in BNI Commerce, and everyone just starts to become a friend, really, and building relationships over time. Even if they didn't refer, everyone just is your friend. I bump into them Kroger all the time, and I ask how their kids are, and I ask how their family is, and it's just you just really start to grow a bond. And so I think that was such a great move. I know that being part of our Power Partner team is more healthcare based versus in BNI. You can have many different industries, but it's pretty amazing. I've gotten referrals from the plumber, local plumber, or the flower shop down the street, and just based on them building a relationship with their clients, they can send referrals over to you, and I think that's really great. Before we end our message here, I'd like to, can you give us an inspirational message to the viewers?
Sure, an inspirational message. It's always good to seek professional help and coaching for anything. So for healthcare, for an aging population, it's really good to have, whether it's, let's say, a chiropractor or a physical medicine doctor or primary care or anybody, to help ease the aging process by getting you on the right things to do as you start to age, to help slow degenerative conditions, keep active longer. So find somebody that you trust, that can be a good influence and coach in the healthcare community for the aging process.
That's great. Yep. Thank you so much, Dr. Rodnick. We appreciate you and everything you do in the community, and we at Affinity would love to always see you grow too as well.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Zaya. Thanks for having me.
Yep. Take care.
All right, you too.
Yep. Bye.